Hi, this is Sarah Neighbor with Sarah Loves to Stamp, and today I'm bringing you a Tool Time Thursday all about our new ink pads. So first of all, I just wanted to show you a few features of it. The new feature that's really cool is that it comes with a label here, and you peel it off. I think it's right about here. I already took mine off, I apologize. And when you peel it off, there's 4 different labels, and each of them are the name of the ink pad, but in different languages. So obviously pick the language you wanted. I obviously used English, and I just put it here on the end. And I just love that feature because our old ink pads, they just had like classic instead of the actual color. So it's kind of a fun feature and makes it really easy, especially if you store your ink pads like I do. And I'll show you a picture. My husband made mine that holds all my ink pads flat, and then of course I'm looking at this edge when I go to pick them out, and then on top I have my inkers. So I'll show you a picture of that, and I'll probably insert it in the video right about now. Alright, so anyway, let me go ahead and show you the difference between the two. I'm going to stamp with them and show you that. They open the same way, the case is exactly the same, the only difference is the actual pad. So our old ones, and I don't know how much of this you can see, were a felt pad. And then, and one of my least favorite things about the felt pads is that they get these little stringy things like this, you know, and I didn't like that. And sometimes they stick outside of it and it's not good. Anyway, so our new ones are this firm foam is what they call it. And it's just it's really nice to stamp with. I really like it. So it's not spongy like, say, the craft pads are, or maybe other pigment inks you've used. And it's still a regular dye ink, nothing different there for the most part. I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to use this stamp here from Printed Petals, and it's a really solid stamp. And I'm just going to press down firmly, but I'm not trying to push like through the ink pad into the bottom or anything. I'm going to go ahead and, oops. Got kind of on my ink pad there. Hopefully I didn't smudge it and you're going to think, oh no, oh, not too bad. Anyway, so that's how it stamps, and it just gives really even, nice coverage with not very much effort. And let me show you, compared to that same amount of effort on our old style ink pads, what that would look like. Okay, so I'm just going to tap a few times pretty firmly. I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Okay, so you can see there, the main part that you're going to really notice is there's a big void there. And you can see there's not even coverage, there's voids over here. You know, it's darker over here, but it's just not even. I'm going to show you what it should look like. Let me grab my Stampin' Up markers here. That's Gumball Green. And here is the Wild Wasabi. And you can see really, they're about the same saturation. They're different hues, but maybe this one's a little more saturated. But anyway, you can see what it should look like when it's solid. And this definitely doesn't look like that, and that looks exactly like that. If you do have the old ink pad, I'll show you how I kind of got around this with solid stamps. A lot of people like sanded their rubber before they used it. I never did that. I just kind of twisted really hard. So I'm pressing into the ink pad as I'm twisting to give really even coverage. And then if you stamp right then, it'll kind of have these streaks going through it. So you want to do the, you know, just tapping motion. And I'm tapping really hard, probably jiggling the camera for crying out loud. And then you can go ahead and stamp. I'm pressing down firmly, and you can see it looks pretty good. Okay, so if you have the old ones, no need to fret. You can make it work for solid stamps, but the new ones are just much easier. Oh, and see, I'm gonna have to take care of that string later. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to show you the difference between the two and how easy it is to use these new ones. Now, one question that's been coming out is if you have to replace the old ones, and no, you don't need to. Not at all. They're just fine. If yours are, you know, if yours are a-okay, there's no need to replace them if you're happy with them. You know, the new ones are much easier to stamp with, but for now, I personally am not replacing all of mine right away. I know there's a lot of demonstrators out there who are replacing all of theirs immediately, and I think I'll just replace a few at a time because I do prefer the new ones. But don't feel the pressure if you have the old ones and you're happy with them. There's no need to replace them if if you're happy with them. I did want to mention to you, if you have the old re-inkers for 5 of these colors and you get the new pads, you're not going to want to re-ink the new pad with the old re-inker because they did have to reformulate these 5. So I'm going to go ahead and say them, but I'll also post them on a screen here. They are Basic Black, Basic Gray, Marina Mist, Perfect Plum, and Tempting Turquoise. That's the 5 that they had to reformulate for it to work with the new ink pad. I think they said the color wasn't quite right for some reason with the new ink pad or something. I can't remember what they said, but something like that. So if you have those old reinkers, don't use them on the new pad because the color won't be quite right, and you'll really have 2 different colors kind of mixing if you use that old reinker. So that's the only thing you really need to be careful of with these new ink pads. Otherwise, you're good to go, and I love them. So I hope you're just as happy with them as I am when you get yours, and let me know if you have any questions further about these or about anything else. And also, I'd love to know if you have any suggestions for a future Tool Time Thursday of something you'd like to see. You can certainly email it to me at sarah@sarahlovestostamp.com, or comment here on YouTube or over on my blog or wherever you're viewing this. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next week with a different Tool Time Thursday. Have a great week.